Hello, my dear students. It's a part 2 for basics of power electronics. Today I am going to discuss about the converters. So let's start. What is the converters? First, we take the rectifier. We know the definition of rectifier, so I will just say rectifier is a device which converts AC into DC. So this is the chart for classification for the rectifier circuits. There are two types of rectifiers. One is single phase and another one is three phase. Single phase rectifiers can be uncontrolled, half controlled or fully controlled. We know the meaning of uncontrolled and controlled. There is a difference between controlled and uncontrolled is that if we design the rectifier with diode, so that circuit would be uncontrolled because we have no gate controlling in that circuit. But for designing a rectifier, if we use thyristors, SCR, MOSFET, IGBTs or any controlling device, then that rectifier is called controlled rectifier. So single phase rectifier may be half controlled, fully controlled or uncontrolled. Okay, uncontrolled rectifier can be further divided into half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. Sensitive rectifier and bridge rectifier are the type of full wave rectifier. So these are the rectifier classification in case of single phase. In three phase also we have a uncontrolled three phase rectifiers, half controlled or fully controlled. Half controlled means I didn't tell you in that case. Here half controlled means if we use in full wave rectifier, three phase full wave rectifier, we have to use 6 thyristor, but in place of 6 thyristor we use 3 thyristor and half 3 thyristor are controlled and half of the switching devices diode which would be uncontrolled. So like that if we use, then that combination is called half controlled devices and half uncontrolled devices. In fully controlled, all the switches are controlled. Okay, so uncontrolled are again half wave, full wave. Fully controlled is also maybe a half wave and full wave. So these are the classification of rectifier circuits, which few of them we will discuss in this lecture. First, we will see half wave rectifiers. Half wave rectifier means only one thyristor or one diode we use. Here we use diode for half wave rectifier and here we use thyristor for half wave rectifier. So half wave means only we get the output for half wave and another half wave we will not get any output. So this is the half wave rectification. Here we use only resistive load. Here the diode, in case of diode we get the output from 0 to 180 degree, but in case of thyristor we get the output according to a requirement, means at any angle you can fire the thyristor and you can get the output. So from alpha to pi conduction would be there, and again in half wave you will not get any output. In uncontrolled also we will not get any output, but in another positive wave we get the output. Like this is the simple simple circuit for resistive load. In resistive load means if we use the only resistive load for supplying DC power, IO and VO means output voltage and output current would be same in phase. See in waveform, there is no phase difference between IO and VO. So let's see what happened in RL case. If we take the load inductive load, in case of inductive load or within inductive RL load, inductive and resistive load, what would happen? In case of uncontrolled rectifier, here we can see the IO and VO now not in the same phase. If it is the waveform for load voltage and if it is the voltage for IO, so this is the IO and VO waveforms. So here also the conduction would go into the negative. Okay, why it is negative? Because in inductor, uh, once again you see in thyristor case also, in case of thyristor also, the waveform of the voltage would not be 0 at omega t is equal to pi, it would be in the negative also. So why it is so? Because inductor, we know the property of the inductor, current never goes down immediately to the 0 in case of inductor. So there is a some amount of energy exists in the inductor, so that the conduction, the current is also flowing through the inductor. So due to this inductor do not down the current across the thyristor below the holding level. Due to the inductor, current would not immediately zero when at omega t is equal to pi. It will continue flow through the thyristor or in the diode, because the current would not down below the holding current. So after this pi, some angle after this pi, with due some angle, voltage would go 0. So at not at omega t is equal to pi, it would go at omega t is equal to, let us assume it is a beta. So beta is called the extinction angle, because conduction extended rather than up to omega t is equal to pi, it would go up to the omega t is equal to beta. Here beta is the extinction angle. Due to this inductor, this extinction angle comes into the picture. And current, what is the condition of current? Current would continue flow. This is the point for omega t is equal to pi, but current would also flow for omega t is equal to beta. Okay, this is the waveform for the this VD, or you can say this diode. When the diode is conducting or thyristor in conducting mode, voltage across the device would be 0. And when it is in the off state, voltage across this device would follow the input waveform. So this is the case for the inductive load. Let's see the next load. This is the operation with inductive load and freewheeling diode. So what is the function of this? This is the freewheeling diode. We connect in the in the circuit, and what would happen? See the improvement in the waveform. In case of inductive load, this waveform goes into negative. So for improving the voltage waveform or current waveform, we use the freewheeling diode. When the at omega t is equal to pi, when the input voltage comes up to omega 0, then voltage at this, see in this waveform, the voltage comes down to the 0, it is not go in negative. So what would happen? When the supply voltage goes in negative direction, the current in the inductor will flow, because as the thyristor switched off, the current conduction would switch to this freewheeling diode, and this freewheeling diode would give the path to flow this IO current. So IO current would be continuing flow through the circuit, through the load. And what happened at that time? At that time, the voltage would be 0 across the load, because when this switch, suppose this diode, this freewheeling diode is act as a switch, so it is closed switch, it will act as a closed switch. So the voltage across this freewheeling diode is 0. So the voltage across this load is also 0. Then Hence, the function of this freewheeling diode is to improve the voltage waveform, it improves the current waveform, and overall efficiency of the circuit is improved. And also the power factor also improved due to connecting this freewheeling diode. So this is the function of freewheeling diode, and this freewheeling diode can also be connected in uncontrolled rectifier. Okay. Now let's see the full wave rectifiers. Full wave rectifiers, first is the half full wave rectifier with resistive load. This is the circuit for with SCRs, and this is the circuit with diode. So in full wave rectifier we get the output in both the half cycle of the input wave. Means in positive half also we will get the output, in negative half also we get the output. So by using the full wave rectifiers, the ripples are removed. Ripples can be removed from the DC voltage which we are getting in the output. So let's see the conduction of both the circuits. In positive half cycle, SCR1 would conduct. In negative half cycle, SCR2 would conduct. Similarly, in diode rectifiers, in positive half cycle, diode D1 would conduct. In negative half cycle, diode D2 would conduct. But the direction in the current flowing through the load would be same in both the halves, in positive half also and in negative half also. So here the waveform for the thyristorized circuit, but in case of diode we will get the output like this. Means we get full wave across the circuit, across the output. So this would be the output waveform in case of when we use diode circuit. And this alpha, pi plus alpha and 2 pi plus alpha shows that circuit possessing the thyristor in it. So these are the voltage and current waveforms. This is the input waveform, input current which we are getting, and this is the voltage across the SCR. Not this dotted line, only this solid line shows the voltage across the SCR. So in previous slide I told you, when the SCR in on position, the voltage across the SCR would be 0, and in off position it has a voltage, its voltage waveform follow the input wave. Okay. Next is similar circuit can be operated with RL load. In case of RL, which I told you in half wave circuit, the voltage waveform would be goes into negative, the conduction angle would increase. So at omega t is equal to pi, we gives the input to the T1 or SCR1, and alpha to pi it would conduct, and here we can say it is extended up to the beta. So T1 would conduct from alpha to pi plus alpha, T2 would conduct from pi plus alpha to 2 pi plus alpha, and again then T1, so on. So this is the waveform for RL load, and it is again, if we use similar circuit with the freewheeling diode, the waveform would be improved and we will not get the output in negative side. So we get the proper waveform in the output circuitry. So this is the advantage when we use the freewheeling diode. It improves the circuit performance. Next is, these circuits can be operated, can be drawn for the different uh, firing angle. So at omega t, at alpha is equal to 0 degree, we get the full wave. Okay, no need to explain this. This is the similar to the diode circuitry. For alpha is equal to 45 degree, the waveform would be like this. Means it is less than the 90 degree. For alpha is equal to 90 degree, we get half output. You just see half in the positive half because we are using RL load. So it is extended up to this level, half in the negative. Okay, so यदि हम यहाँ देखें तो जो हमें एवरेज आउटपुट वोल्टेज मिल रहा है इट वुड बी 0. For alpha is equal to 135 means it is angle above the 90 degree. So what would happen? See, the output which we are getting in the positive cycle in positive half means above this is the positive portion and which we are getting in downward it is a negative portion. So amount of negative magnitude of negative portion or negative voltage is larger than the positive one. So we can say that current would be flow or power now not flow from DC to AC source. It will invert. It will flow from DC source to DC load to AC source because in रेक्टिफायर सर्किट में इनपुट क्या है? इनपुट हमारा AC है और आउटपुट DC है, बट वी आर गेटिंग द negative flow, negative power flow. So we can say that above alpha is above 90 degree, similar circuit can be worked as an inverter. For alpha is equal to 180 degree, we get only negative half in the circuit, means we inverted the output voltage from positive 1 to negative. Means here we get नेगेटिव वैल्यू, वोल्टेज इज एट DC नेगेटिव मिलेगा. यदि हम उस टाइम कर रहे थे तो हमें यदि प्लस मान लो प्लस 10 वोल्ट मिल रहा था, तो अब if we put the value alpha is equal to 180 degree, we get minus 10 volts. So like this, if you want to reverse the polarity of the DC, you can vary this alpha up to the 180 degree, from 90 to 180 degree. Now let's see the full wave controlled bridge rectifier. This is the bridge rectifier. I have considered both the circuits. This is the thyristorized circuit and this is the diode circuit. The function of this circuit is like a bridge rectifier, means in positive half, instead in half wave what is happening in half wave, in positive half or either positive half or in a negative half, only one thyristor or one diode is conducting. But in full wave bridge rectifier, at a one half, for the one half, two thyristors would conduct. In case of uncontrolled rectification, two diodes would conduct. So for positive half, for this positive half, this SCR1 and SCR4 are in forward bias. So if we give the firing angle at omega t is equal to alpha to T1 and T4, these two thyristors would conduct. And in negative half, when this terminal would be positive with respect to the opposite one, thyristor T2 and T3 would be in the forward bias, so these two thyristors would conduct. Similarly, in uncontrolled rectification, D1 and D2 conducts in positive half, D3 and D4 would conduct in negative half. So in case of diode, we get the full wave like this. I am just drawing like this. We get the output in case of diode, but in case of SCR, we get the output according to the firing angle. These are the waveform for the current, output current and the thyristor currents. Next is for RL load. Similarly, with bridge rectifier, when we use the RL load, the waveform would be like this. Current conduction would extend it up to the angle beta, and then when we give the firing angle, fire the another two thyristors at pi plus alpha, we get the output like this. So it is similar to the half wave. There is no difference in the operation when we connect the RL load. The only drawback of the RL load is that when we use the inductive load, the extinction angle comes in the picture and voltage should be 0 at omega t is equal to beta, but omega t is equal to pi, but it would not be 0 due to this inductor. So we can improve the performance of the circuit When we use the inductive load for improving this waveform, again we use the freewheeling diode to improve the performance of the circuit. Okay. Next is the semi-converter, semi-controlled rectification. So जिसको कि हम कहते हैं half controlled rectification. So here I have considered only the half controlled or a semi-controlled bridge rectifier. So here I am just showing the diagram that here we use only two thyristors and two diodes. In in above legs, above portion T1 and T2 is used, and in the lower portion D3 and D4 is used. Means we have combined those two things. We combine the controlled and uncontrolled circuitry. So in positive half, one thyristor and one diode would conduct. In negative half, another pair of the thyristor and diode would conduct. So by using this circuits also, we can make the controlled rectification, because one unit is controlled and one switch or another unit is uncontrolled. So this is the combination of controlled and uncontrolled switching devices. But there is no change in the operation of the circuit. It is similar, waveforms are similar. And to improve the function of this semiconductor, again here also we use the freewheeling diode. So the function of the circuitry is not change in case of control or fully control or semi control, but only the change is that we have to control only one unit at a time. We no need to give the gate signal to the both the unit, because if in positive half only one SCR is conducting, one diode is conducting, and here we can see that if this SCR is in forward bias, this diode is in forward bias, but अगर ये SCR turn on नहीं होगा, so तब तक we will not get the output, this diode will not flow the current through the load. So this combination is easier and easy, इसको control करना भी easy है. So this semi controlled rectifiers are also prominently used. Okay, so this is all about the single phase rectification. Now we will move towards three phase rectification. So what are the three phase rectifiers? If we are giving the three phase in the input and we get DC output across the load. So there is we can say that if we compare the single phase rectifier with the three phase rectifier, so we found that we would be found that the efficiency of the circuit is improved, and the pulses and the ripples which we are getting in the single phase circuitry, we will not get in the three phase rectifier. We get the full pulses, even though if we are using a half wave rectification in three phase circuits, the efficiency of the circuit would improve. That's why instead of single phase rectification, for industrial purpose we use the three phase rectification. In transmission and distribution system we use the three phase rectification, because the efficiency of the three phase rectifiers are much more better or higher than the single phase rectification. So let's see the three phase rectifiers. This is the uncontrolled half wave rectifier. Here we have used the diodes for rectification. Now in this rectifier, what is going on? In this rectifier, as three diodes are connected and we are supplying these three phase to the circuit. So which diode would conduct? Here the question comes, which diode would conduct? So the rectifier element connected to the line at highest instantaneous voltage can only conduct. Only the diode which is getting the highest input voltage through it, input anode voltage across it, would conduct. Okay, so let's see in this waveform. Here Let me take the another color for the pen. Let's take blue. Here see, three faces are there, A, B, C, and after this point, in positive half you see, after this point, let us consider this is the point for omega t is equal to 30 degree. This is point C, omega t is equal to 30 degree. This is for omega t is equal to 90, and this is for 150, and this is for 180. Okay, so at omega t is equal to 30 degree, this phase would taking or getting its highest maximum value. Here in this portion, only this A is in maximum positive. So to this, let us consider this is the phase A, this is B, and this is C. So this A is at highest maximum point, maximum positive value at omega t is equal to 30 degree. So this diode would be in forward bias and it would conduct, and we get the output through this load, and this is load is connected between this neutral and this phase. So this phase is connected to the load. So we get the output this VAB. After that, after this point, you see B is going, and here you can see from this point to this point only this diode D1 would conduct. After this point, this again this is going to in the negative, but now B is getting its maximum value. It is going to the maximum positive value. So this diode would conduct. So यहाँ पे इतने पोर्शन में फ्रॉम ओमेगा टी इज इक्वल टू 30 to omega t is equal to 150, D1 would conduct. From this 150 to this 270, D2 would conduct. From this point to this point, D3 would conduct. So वही थायरिस्टर कंडक्ट करेगा जिसका एनोड वोल्टेज मैक्सिमम पॉजिटिव वैल्यू पे होगा. ओके, and we are getting a full wave in the output. You just see we are getting the full wave into output, but we are telling it is a half wave rectifier. This is the reason behind it. As we define in the single phase, only in half wave circuitry only one diode is conducting. So here also, in any case, in any positive half or in only one diode is conducting at a time. That's why this circuit is known as half wave rectifier. Okay, am I clear? Then next is, if the load is inductive, again here is the waveform. यदि इस केस में भी यदि हमारा थ्री फेज रेक्टिफायर है, इसमें भी हमने RL लोड को यदि सप्लाई दिया है, तो in that case also the waveform would go into the negative due to the property of the inductor. The energy in the inductor would flow through the circuit. So again, to improve this, we can use the freewheeling diode. Now see the three-phase full wave rectification. Here I have shown both the circuit for uncontrolled and controlled rectification. But एक चीज और जो हाफ वेव में छूट गई थी, here one thyristor सॉरी वन डायोड, और यहाँ पर थायरिस्टर भी होगा, तो एक थायरिस्टर या एक डायोड कंडक्ट करेगा 120 डिग्री के लिए. ये पॉइंट यदि 30 डिग्री है और ये पॉइंट यदि 150 डिग्री है, तो इसके बीच का जो पोर्शन हुआ वो क्या हुआ, 120 डिग्री. तो इसमें याद रखने वाली बात ये है कि फॉर हाफ वेव रेक्टिफायर one diode would conduct for 120 degree. But in full wave, here we use, this is the full wave bridge rectifier. Here we use the diode, here we use the SCRs. So what is the function here? Here at a time, two diodes or two thyristor would conduct at a time, as in the single phase. So how this diodes would conduct? Now see the, let's understood by this waveform. D1 and D2, इसमें एक चीज और याद रखनी है, D1 and D2 would never conduct together, D3 D4 would never conduct together, and D5 and D6 never conduct together because they are connected in a same leg. Here these are known as the legs. These are the legs of the uh, ब्रिज रेक्टिफायर एंड सेम लेग में जो डायोड्स और थायरिस्टर कनेक्टेड है दे विल नेवर कंडक्ट टुगेदर. What happened if they conduct together? They will short circuit the input. That's why, or it can short circuit the load also. That's why the same leg thyristor or diodes would never conduct together. Okay, so what is the sequence? If फर्स्ट D1, अब यहाँ पर एक बार में दो थायरिस्टर कंडक्ट करेंगे या दो डायोड कंडक्ट करेंगे एंड वन डायोड would be from positive half and second diode would be from negative half, is they would conduct in combination, one from positive and second one for negative. So this is called upper element called the positive group element and lower element called the negative group element, because the upper elements conduct for positive half and the lower element conducts for negative half. So let's see here what is going on here. The at this point you just see the diode in positive group, the diode which is getting a maximum positive voltage across the anode, that diode would conduct, and in negative half those diode will conduct which is getting a maximum negative. So if I see here, you just see this is R by B. R is going to the maximum positive here, and here this is the B. If this is R, this is Y, and this is B, R by B. So this waveform is B for B. So B is going in maximum negative, and at this similar point R is going its maximum negative. So जिसका भी maximum negative होगा उस वाले वो वाला एलिमेंट कंडक्ट करेगा, उस फेज से कनेक्टेड एलिमेंट कंडक्ट करेगा, और पॉजिटिव में जिसके पास मैक्सिमम होगा उस फेज से कनेक्टेड डायोड कंडक्ट करेगा. तो पहले हम सपोज कर लेते हैं D1 एंड D6 आर कंडक्टिंग टुगेदर, एंड then D2 and D3 would conduct together, and then likewise the conduction would take place and we get the full wave across the output. So what is the difference between the half wave rectifier and full wave? Here the one diode or a thyristor would conduct for the 60 degree, and D1 would conduct for 60 degree, D6 for conduct for 60 degree, D3 for conduct 60 degree. But the difference between the two upper elements or two lower elements is 120 degree. Means if we trigger the D1 at omega t is equal to 0, then after the 120 degree we trigger the D3. After the 120 degree we trigger the D5. Similar for the lower, if D2 is conducting at omega t is equal to 30 degree, then after 120 degree means at omega t is equal to 150 degree we trigger the D4. After 120 degree like 270 degree we trigger the D6. Likewise we trigger the thyristor and diodes would conduct, and the angle would be measured. In case of thyristorized circuit we measure the firing angle after the omega t is equal to 30 degree, because thyristor would can conduct only after the omega t is equal to 30 degree. Before it is not at maximum positive. So that's why we measure the firing angle after omega t is equal to 30 degree. If you want to trigger the thyristor, सपोज आपको थायरिस्टर का ट्रिगरिंग एंगल 30 डिग्री रखना है, तो एट व्हाट एंगल यू हैव टू गिव द फायरिंग पल्स? यू हैव टू गिव द फायरिंग पल्स एट ओमेगा टी इज इक्वल टू 60 डिग्री, 30 plus 30 degree. So likewise the circuits are working and we are getting a less pulses. वी आर नॉट गेटिंग, देखिए ये पल्सेस जो है वो क्या होती जा रही है, स्मूथ होती जा रही है. वी आर गेटिंग मोर स्मूथ पल्स अक्रॉस द आउटपुट व्हेन वी यूज द फुल वेव रेक्टिफिकेशन. So we use this type of rectification, single phase and three phase rectifications. Now we will discuss about the inverter circuit. So what are the inverter circuit? Inverter, we know the inverter is a device that converts DC power into AC power at desired output voltage and frequency. So where many industrial applications inverters are using, mainly we use the inverter for adjustable speed AC drives, induction heating, aircraft power supplies, in UPS, in computers, in HVDC transmission lines. There are many applications of the inverter. And for inverter circuits we use only phase controlled converters, because phase controlled converters can be operated in inverter mode by uh, varying the firing angle. So if we are in many industrial application, actually we use both kind of inverters. Inverters can be a forced commutated inverter or it may be a line commutated inverter. So if we use the line commutation means with the supply line, if we commutate the thyristors, that is called the line commutated inverter. So same converter circuit which we use in the rectifier circuit, if we increase the firing angle above the 90 degree, that similar circuit would conduct as a inverter. So that inverter is called the line commutated inverter. Here I will discuss the forced commutated inverter, in which first one is the half bridge inverter circuit. So in half bridge inverter circuit, again we are using the thyristor with the combination of D1 and D2 diodes. So here one thyristor is used for creating the one half, and I can say T1 is used to create the positive half of the AC supply, and T2 is used for creating the negative half, because now we have to create the positive half and negative half from the DC. So in input side we are giving the DC supply. Here the half bridge inverter, we have to use the 3-wire DC supply. Here from this point you can see the 3 connections are coming out, one from this positive terminal, one is from this negative terminal, and this is are connected to the load. So this kind of supply is called the 3-wire DC supply. And here T1, when T1 is conduct, when we trigger the T1 at any angle, suppose we trigger the T1 at this point. So यहाँ पर हमने एक चीज और अज्यूम करके रखी है, दिस इज ये IG1 और IG2 की वेवफॉर्म दिखा रही है, बट वी आर अज्यूमिंग हियर जब तक हम यहाँ पर गेट पर अप्लाई करेंगे तब तक वो थायरिस्टर कंडक्ट करता है, बट कंडक्ट करेगा, बट इन एक्चुअली इट इज नॉट हैपनिंग, बट जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड वी हैव अज्यूम दैट थिंग. सो if we are giving the firing pulse up to this point to the T1, तो T1 conduct करेगा. If the T1 is conducting, the conduction would be from like this. In load, the direction of current would be this. So we get the output Vs by 2 from this upper half of the battery through the T1. And afterward, after some time, when we required negative half, we commutate this T1. Here we use forced commutation to commutate this T1, and we give the firing pulse to the T2. When we give the firing pulse to the T2, conduction would be in the reverse direction from this point to this point, and T2 would conduct and we get the negative half. So for creating the positive half, we trigger the T1, and for creating the negative half, we trigger the T2. And D1 and D2 both are the feedback diodes. If we feedback diode means if the thyristor T1 is in opposition, and here if we use the load RL load, so this diode would give the path to flow the current. Okay, this is the full wave bridge inverter. Here we use four thyristors and four diodes are feedback diodes, and at a time we will trigger two thyristors T1 and T2, and for creating the positive half we trigger T1 and T2, and for creating negative half we trigger T2 and T3 and T4. So when T1 is triggered, the conduction would be from Vs to this T1, T1 to load to T2, and like this. For creating the negative half, the conduction would be from T3 to load to T4, and back to this Vs. Like this conduction would be. And here at a time हम दो थायरिस्टर को ट्रिगर करेंगे. So for creating positive half, T1 and T2 would conduct, and for negative half, T3 and T4 would conduct. What is the advantage of this full wave bridge rectifier? Here you can see that the requirement of the 3-wire DC supply can be eliminated by using this full wave bridge rectifier, which we used in the half wave bridge inverter. But here only simple DC supply can work as a for converting the DC into AC. So this can be eliminated, means 3-wire DC supply, usage of this supply can be eliminated by using this full wave bridge rectifier. Next is the three-phase bridge inverter. Sorry, I am telling again and again rectifier, but it is an inverter because it is converting the DC into AC. So here you see this is simple one circuitry. You just see this is the one half bridge rectifier, single phase half bridge rectifier. So what we have done in three-phase inverter, we use such 3 circuits. One is this, another one is this, and third one is this. So when we connect back to back 3 half bridge inverters, we can create a 3-phase across the load. Each bridge would supply the one phase of the load. So from there we take the one single phase. From another, for getting another phase we connect this leg, and for getting third phase we connect this leg. So like this 3 legs can be connected to the load, which would create the 3-phase inversion. So 3-phase inversion or inverter circuit can be operated in 2 modes. One is 180-degree mode. So first see the 180-degree mode. For 180-degree mode, what is going on? We conduct this. One second. Here just see S1, S2, S1, S2. First segment is only we are switching the we have shown the S1, S2, S1, S2. In second row, S3, S4, S3, S4 is conducting. And third row shows the S5, S6, S5, S6. These are conducting. But what is S1, S2? S1, S2 is the thyristor which is connected in the same leg. Means first this thyristor would conduct for first 180 degree. After 180 degree we trigger this lower switch. For another 180 degree this switch will conduct. After 180 डिग्री दिस विल कंडक्ट. सो इन सेम लैग, एक लैग में जो थायरिस्टर्स लगे हुए हैं वो एक टाइम में एक ही करेगा, एक लैग का एक ही करेगा, बट वो 180 डिग्री के लिए करेगा और अनदर 180 डिग्री के लिए उसका लोअर वाला पार्टनर करेगा. सो हियर यदि हम देखें तो एस जो स्विचिंग हो रही है वो हर 60 डिग्री पे हो रही है. ये देखिए यहाँ से यहाँ तक कौन दिख रहा है हमें, केवल S1, S4 और S5 यहाँ इस पोर्शन में कंडक्ट कर रहा है. तो 0 से लेकर 60 डिग्री तक S1, S4 एंड S5 कर रहे हैं. मीन्स हियर द कॉम्बिनेशन वुड बी लाइक दिस. एट अ टाइम 3 switches or 3 thyristor would conduct. One is from positive half, either one is from positive half or positive group and 2 from negative group, or 2 from positive group and 1 from negative group. Like that it would conduct. So and thyristor pair in each arm we turn on at time interval of 180 degree. So एक, और इसको हम क्या कहते हैं, इसको स्टेप्स कहते हैं. इट इज द स्टेप्स ऑफ द इन्वर्टर. और कंडक्शन जो है, आप जैसे हर स्टेप जो है वो 60 डिग्री का है. स्टेप्स मतलब कि हम जब थायरिस्टर की स्विचिंग कर रहे हैं जितने एंगल पे, तो हियर आफ्टर ईच 60 डिग्री वी आर स्विचिंग द एंगल. सो 0 से 60 डिग्री तक इन तीनों ने किया. फिर इसके बाद क्या किया, S5 ऑफ हो गया. अब S1, S4 और S6 कंडक्ट करने लगा. फिर अगेन आफ्टर 60 डिग्री आप देखिए यहाँ पर S4 ऑफ हो गया. अब S6, S3 और S1 कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं. अगेन यहाँ पे S1 आपका ऑफ हो गया और 2, 3 और 6 साथ में कंडक्ट करने लगे. तो ये सीक्वेंस चलता रहेगा और यही कॉम्बिनेशन रहेगा. दो आइदर 2 थायरिस्टर्स फ्रॉम पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव और 1 फ्रॉम द अनदर ग्रुप. तो इस तरीके से 0 से लेकर 360 डिग्री तक एक साइकिल कंप्लीट होगी. ओके, सो ये जो है ये इसके लाइन वोल्टेजेस और फेज वोल्टेजेस को शो किया गया है. यहाँ पर जब कोई 3 थायरिस्टर्स कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं, तो जब ये कॉम्बिनेशन कंडक्ट कर रहा है तो आप देखिए हमें वोल्टेज जो मिल रहा है वो Vs/2 मिल रहा है. और जब ये वाला कॉम्बिनेशन कंडक्ट कर रहा है तब हमें 2Vs/3 वोल्टेज मिल रहा है. सो इसका यहाँ पर ये यहाँ पर शो किया गया है. यू कैन सी VAO, VBO, VCO are the phase voltages, and we can get from this phase voltages VAB, VBC and VCA. These are the line voltages. So I think no need to explain this waveform. Let's move on the 120 degree. In 120 degree mode, only 2 thyristor would conduct. और क्या हमें प्रॉब्लम आ रही थी 180 डिग्री में? 180 डिग्री में जैसे ही S1 आपका ऑफ हो रहा था वैसे ही हम S2 को कंडक्ट करा रहे थे. बट जैसे ही, तो बीच में जो गैप हमें नहीं मिल रहा था. यदि मान लो कहीं से कम्यूटेशन फेलियर होता है, S1 पूरी तरीके से ऑफ नहीं हुआ है और हमने उसके सेम लैग पे थायरिस्टर को ट्रिगर पल्स दे दी है, तो वो सेम लैग के दोनों थायरिस्टर साथ में कंडक्ट करने लगेंगे. सो टू अवॉइड दिस थिंग हम थोड़ा सा कम्यूटेशन गैप यहाँ प्रोवाइड करते हैं. एंड ईच थायरिस्टर ऑफ द वन लैग कंडक्ट फॉर द 120 डिग्री एंड वी गिव्स द 60 डिग्री. ये जो ब्लैक वाला पोर्शन दिख रहा है, इट इज शोइंग द कम्यूटेशन गैप. हम उसमें कम्यूटेशन गैप देते हैं सो दैट द वन थायरिस्टर प्रॉपरली कम्यूटेड. आफ्टर दैट वी ट्रिगर द another one. So like that we operate the thyristor in these modes for getting the three-phase supply across the load. Last is the application of inverter circuit. These are the some applications. We know conversion of electric power from DC type energy sources to AC type load. We use battery in photovoltaic cell, solar cell, in fuel cell. For we use the inverter because wherever we are using in solar power plant, we know photovoltaic cells, they create the DC supply. We get from these cells, we get the DC, and we have to convert this DC into AC to supply the loads. So loads are normally AC type, so we have to convert this DC supply which we are getting from the photovoltaic cell into the AC. We have to uh, put inverter in between them. So fuel cell is also, we use the, for inversion we use the inverter as a composite converter, also for AC motor drives, for uninterrupted power supplies, and for induction heating and many switching power supplies we use the inverter circuits. And one more thing I want to include, and after that I will conclude my session. In inverter circuit, the harmonic analysis is also an important part, because जहाँ पर भी हम switching devices use कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि थायरिस्टर्स हो गया, इसकी जगह इंस्टेड ऑफ थायरिस्टर यू कैन यूज मॉसफेट, IGBT एंड any switching device you can use. But whenever we use the switching devices, the harmonics are also introduced due to the switching. So harmonic analysis is also one of the important part of the inverter. So there are so many devices from which we can remove the harmonics. Many harmonic analysis we do to remove the harmonics, like we use filters, we use PWM techniques, pulse width modulation we do to remove the harmonics. So that's all. Thank you, students. I hope you understood, you revised your rectifiers and inverters. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.